Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you listening can relate to this. You've got those big, shiny goals, right? Like super clear in your mind. Maybe it's landing that dream job, finally hitting a financial milestone, maybe a relationship that feels like it's just meant to be.
Yeah, those aspirations that really light you up.
Exactly. And you're doing all the things you're supposed to do, right? Vision boards up, affirmations are on repeat. You're putting in the effort, the energy's there.
You're ticking all the boxes, following the blueprint.
But then sometimes it feels like, I don't know, you're stuck on a treadmill. Like you're putting in all this work, but not actually getting any closer to where you want to be.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of spinning your wheels, putting in the effort but not seeing the traction you'd expect. It's incredibly common.
And it makes you start to question everything, doesn't it? Like, am I not doing enough? Is my vision not clear enough? Is there some secret sauce I'm missing?
Right. You start doubting your approach, maybe even yourself a little.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to try to figure out why those dreams might be kind of, I don't know, resisting your efforts. And hopefully do it in a way that doesn't leave you feeling even more overwhelmed?
Yeah, the goal isn't to pile on more to-dos or complicate things further. We want to get to the heart of the matter.
Exactly. We're not here to add another layer of complexity or a new hack. It's more about understanding this one sneaky thing that's often missing. It's
Yep.
like the final piece of the puzzle.
That often overlooked element that can shift everything. And it might sound familiar, which could make you think, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, you've probably heard it before. But stick with us because we're going to dig into what it actually means and how it actually works. We're talking about detachment.
Detachment, a word that gets thrown around a lot, but it's often misunderstood.
Totally. People hear detachment and they picture some serene monk on a mountaintop, totally unaffected by the world. Or maybe that well-meaning but slightly annoying relative who's all, just let it go, as if it's the easiest thing ever.
Right. And it can feel like a cliche, something you've heard a million times without it really clicking.
Exactly. But that's precisely why we need to take a closer look. Because the way detachment is often presented, it lacks that practical, applicable depth that can make it truly transformative.
It's not about apathy or giving up. It's about a very specific mental and emotional shift. And that's what we really want to explore.
So stay with us. We're going to unpack what detachment really means when it comes to making your dreams a reality.
And importantly, how it works in a way that you can actually apply. It's not about instantly reaching some state of perfect zen. It's more grounded than that.
Right. So right off the bat, a really important distinction we need to make, and something that came up in a lot of the stuff we've been looking at for this deep dive, is the difference between genuine attachment and, well, just pretending not to care.
Yeah. It's tempting to think detachment is just about pushing your feelings down or pretending your goals don't matter that much, but that's not it at all.
It's like, imagine making a fist, squeezing it super tight. How much can you actually hold on to with a clenched fist?
Not much. It's closed off, resistant.
Right. And it's kind of the same with our mental and emotional state when we get super fixated on a specific outcome, whether it's that promotion, that financial target, that relationship.
We become so focused on controlling everything, forcing it to happen, that we actually create a barrier.
It's almost ironic, right? You want something so badly, but that very intensity might be what's pushing it away.
It's a bit counterintuitive, but
Correct.
there's this kind of energetic pushback that happens when we're too attached.
I remember this friend of mine, she was trying to sell her house and it was driving her crazy, checking listings constantly, micromanaging every showing, and she was getting more and more stressed because no offers were coming in.
Yeah, the situations where you can really feel the tension building.
Totally. And then she was just so exhausted she decided to take a break, went on a trip, completely shifted her focus, and guess what? An offer came in. Out of the blue, just like that. It's like when she stopped trying so hard, things started to flow.
That's interesting. It makes you think about how sometimes stepping back can actually be more effective.
And that's when I started to notice a pattern. It wasn't really about the specific thing I wanted, the promotion, the recognition, whatever. It was more about the feeling I thought that thing would bring.
Ah, so the underlying emotion driving the desire.
Yeah. Like that corner office, it wasn't just about the title. It was about feeling competent, respected, maybe a little bit influential.
Makes sense. It's about the internal state that we associate with that external achievement.
And once I realized that, detachment started to make more sense. Because the real game changer is that you can actually start cultivating those feelings now.
You're not waiting for the external thing to happen to feel that way.
Exactly. It's like if someone gave you a fake version of something you really wanted, like a counterfeit award,
No.
it wouldn't hold the same meaning, right?
Yeah.
It might look the same, but it's hollow.
Right. It's missing that genuine substance.
And it's the same with chasing external achievements without cultivating that inner feeling. You might get the thing, but it won't feel as satisfying as you thought it would.
Because the real satisfaction comes from the internal shift.
And there's this other thing I've noticed. It's like a weird cosmic law. The harder you try to hold on to something, the more likely it is to slip away.
Like trying to catch sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more escapes through your fingers.
Exactly. But when you relax your hand, more of it stays. And this applies to so many things in life, even our goals.
That's a really interesting observation. It suggests that clinging too tightly can create resistance.
And I've seen it with people who've achieved a lot of success. You'd think they'd be super guarded, afraid of losing what they've built. But often there's this sense of ease, a lack of desperation. And I think it's because they already cultivated that internal sense of accomplishment before the external success came.
Yeah, it becomes less about getting the thing and more about aligning with the feeling of already having it.
And think about it. Can you really crave something you already believe you possess? It doesn't really work that way, does it? Like, remember when you really, really wanted a specific thing, a gadget or something?
I know that feeling.
And then when you finally got it, that intense longing just faded. The energy shifted from wanting to having.
Interesting. It's like that shift in energy changes how we interact with the thing we desired.
And it's like the universe picks up on that shift too. If you're constantly sending out a signal of, I don't have this, well, you're more likely to keep experiencing that lack. But when you start embodying the feeling of already having it,
You create a different kind of energetic resonance.
and this isn't some new age idea, by the way. Ancient wisdom traditions have been talking about letting go of attachment for centuries.
Right. It's a consistent theme across various philosophies and spiritual practices.
Because clinging to your dreams, needing them to happen in a very specific way, just creates so much stress and potential for disappointment. It's like trying to force a flower to bloom by pulling on its stem. You're more likely to hurt it than help it grow.
So maybe it's more about creating the right conditions for it to blossom naturally.
Okay, so here's a little test for you. Ask yourself honestly, deep down, would I be okay if this specific dream didn't happen?
That's a good question to reflect on.
Notice your immediate reaction. If there is a surge of panic, a big no way, then that's probably a sign of some pretty strong attachment. But if you can honestly say, well, that would be a bummer, but I'd still be okay, I'd find other ways to be happy and fulfilled, then you're probably in a more detached place.
And it's not about pretending you don't care. It's about having a deeper sense of trust in yourself, in life, even if this one specific thing doesn't work out.
So the million-dollar question is, how do you actually cultivate this detachment? How do you loosen that grip and let things unfold more naturally?
That's the key, right? Moving from theory to practice.
And it's not about doing more, it's about being different. Stop waiting for your external reality to change before you allow yourself to feel those emotions you associate with your dreams.
Don't wait for permission to feel good.
Right. Start feeling that sense of accomplishment, that joy, that security right now, and then see what happens. See how your external reality starts to shift in response to that internal shift.
It's about becoming the kind of person who attracts the things you want, not just chasing after them.
And whether you call it aligning your energy, tapping into your subconscious, or just plain old positive thinking, there's real power in it. The moment you truly trust the process, let go of that need to control everything, something shifts. It might be subtle, but it's there.
It's like that feeling of ease and flow you mentioned earlier. Things start falling into place more naturally.
And trust me, I've been in that place of feeling stressed, stuck, like I'm somehow fundamentally incapable of achieving my goals. But when I shifted from seeing my dreams as this lifeline I was desperately clinging
To something that would enhance an already fulfilling life.
yeah, exactly. Things started to change. And if I can figure this out with all the everyday chaos and curveballs life throws, I know you can too.
It's a journey, but it's worth it.
So take a moment, identify where you might be holding on a little too tightly, and just consciously choose to loosen your grip. Keep pursuing your goals, but do it from a place of trust, inner strength, and ultimately detachment.
Go after those dreams, but don't let them define you.
Unclench that fist. Your dreams might just be waiting for you to open your hand.